Well, hello. This is a pretty eventful week. We're starting the finals of Link to the Past Randomizer Ladder Open Invitational Plus. We see we've got Eri and Humbug. These guys battle through, in this case, the top 16 brackets, and the final two people in this case are standing. It promises to be a very, very exciting best of three match. So this is actually, I believe, the third time that Eri and Humbug have actually faced off against each other. The very first time, the game was actually pretty close. Probably, Humbug taking a very slight margin of victory over Eri, about like 40-ish, 45 seconds, something like that. The next one was, not as close. It was probably actually something like a 7.5 minute difference. Mainly, due to actually pretty interesting seed where Humbug was successfully able to mimic clip out upper GT, and Eri unfortunately had to, go and kind of like go find the bow and hammer pegs, and that's kind of what caused the differential. Eri hopefully has recovered and is able to execute this time around, and looking for some revenge on Humbug as we enter this game. Ak, how is it going? Are you ready?
Dude, I am so excited, and yeah, like, this is the finals, and let's see who's in the finals. Eri and Humba? Oh, wow. Tickle me, surprise. But you said it, Humba's already won 2-0. It's over?
Maybe not quite as over,
Is that how that works?
History, yeah, yes, that was history. But hopefully in this case, Eri is kind of looking for a fresh start and a clean slate.
I don't know if it's a fresh start or clean slate that's on his mind. It might, like, he might have blood in his eyes. He's looking for revenge. He's like, I've had enough of this guy and him beating me. You know what? We're starting fresh. Yeah, I'm gonna get him this time. And you don't want Eri angry. That's like the worst person to play against angry. He'll get you every time.
That's true. He's literally looking just for. I mean, we talk about like kind of silent killers throughout the community, right? I mean, Eri will literally catch up to you. Like it's actually kind of scary because sometimes he actually does like kind of like NFG runs, right? With friends, and part of what makes him so good is that he can even start a couple minutes after wherever you are.
He'll be like, oh dang, I died to Helma, and then you're like, finally I got him, and then you're climbing GT, and he's like, all right, I'm back from laundry. I finished like 10 minutes ago, and you're like, what? How did he do it?
Yeah. But Humbug's actually been quite on. Eri. Yeah, I was gonna say Eri. World record holder for NMG. He actually is now in the top 16 of the main tournament. Actually just took out Raylan in a 2-0 series. Kind of waiting for his next opponent. It's either going to be Matt or Illis. Definitely looking forward to that. But Eri is he's pretty good. But Humbug, I was going to say he has been on quite the tear. Looks actually to be pretty hot. Right, took down Eri 2 games before. Also, he was the definitive first qualifier basically for finals. Right, so I think he went 3-0. So.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he beat Eri.
Yep. All right. Okay. Looks very very standard start. Sorry, not standard. This is open. This is not even open. This is open plus. But very common start for Eri and Humbug. Oh, that's a really nice full magic drop. If we actually end up finding a hammer, Eri's gonna be able to check out magic that immediately.
Now I gotta ask this tracking, it says it's powered by the Compi 386. I see them dashing, but is the tracker messed up? I don't see boosts on it.
That the tracker never lies to us. That's because it's a bot, and bots would never lie to you. They would only try to sell you followers and prime viewers. But I believe though in this case, quick map check. Was that 2 pendants and a red crystal?
Okay. I had to look down at my feet because I was giggling.
You know what? The tracker is never wrong because we are just in this case gonna dash for real. And with those boots that we just found in the Lost Woods.
Hey, Humba, your tracker is never wrong. I'd like to see those boots light up, please. It's never wrong.
We're getting there. We're getting there. He's probably just too excited in this case to actually be finding boots in like the second or the third check maybe.
This is kind of neat, because Eri went up and checked that bush crab, and it was only $5, but then he even got the, the special prize, which was 20, which I guess he didn't technically need, but it did push him up to 50. So we're already seeing that like kind of play a factor in his routing here because he's gonna come over here and probably buy bombs, and then probably check front 3 Asaha.
Do you remember that time when Humbug got the shovel and he was trying to dig for 2 rupees in order to pay off the bottom?
How could I forget?
Not quite the shovel in this case that we probably have because well, he is only actually 3 rupees short. I'm not sure where he's gonna be able to try and farm the rupees in this case.
He might not need to, you know. He's got a couple of opportunities for, you know, those rupees to show up if he wants to buy bombs, and then, you know, he's got a couple opportunities where bombs just might outright show up. But
yeah, that's really true. Oh my gosh, our Eri, he made a very similar play. Freaking oh my gosh, to Saha's closet earlier versus Relkin because he had a kind of like extra bomb. We just got a glove, half magic, which is this case replaced by a small magic decanter, and the pearl. Like, where's our hammer, Ak?
I think we're gonna need, I don't know, maybe like 474 rupees to get that one, but...
That's gonna be a lot of digging on Humbug's side to try 400 and something rupees. Oh my gosh, dude, there's the miss. Okay, so yeah, Eri hasn't been a Kakarika yet, never mind. Yeah, so the hammer can still be Azora, but we've got our Dark World access already.
I did add a couple more places where that hammer could potentially be, that's for sure. Now, interestingly enough, too, whenever Eri does make his way over to Kakariko, that will actually get him Mitts and a Moon Pearl. It's going to be probably kind of on a weird spot, depending on how you do it. And also depending if you get, like, literally nothing else but that glove. Dark World might not be looking that great either.
Yeah, that's certainly true, because, you know, we're still on 3 hearts, by the way, and green mail. It's not like, you know, things are, you know, it's like, you know, for those of you who play Inverted, right, that's pretty much the same situation, but it's like, you know how often you die at the beginning of Inverted Seas? Like, a lot. It is not intentional, right? I mean, Dark World is pretty dangerous. Especially without even really like a real weapon, right? And we got a couple bombs, but I mean, you know, we don't have a hammer, we don't have a sword, we don't even have any canes, right? Like, no protection whatsoever.
Yeah. We can, like, I don't know, throw magic powder on some things. I don't really know.
I think that only works for, like,
we got that at least, yeah. You know, might not do anything, but, you know, it looks intimidating. There's a cave.
Okay, well, yeah, we have a cave.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Actually, seems to be is more frequent. I don't know. We're getting silvers earlier than the actual bow, right? Bows are not progressive. We are going to find the actual bow, the real bow, the one and only bow somewhere else in the world.
Where are we going to find it?
You know, I don't know.
Okay.
So I believe, though, that, you know, well, okay, so right, Eastern's a crystal, so we can't really get around, you know, that bow usage or requirement. But I will say that I believe if they, in this case, like Eastern Empod were pendants, Eri, you know, probably is able to, you know, kind of overtake or overcome the initial hurdle of upper GT.
Yeah. I was about to say, do you think he was like big old sigh of relief? He was like, "Oh God, Eastern, oh God," you know? No.
I certainly hope not. You know, he also did play pretty well, you know, versus Raylan in main tournament series. Although these, so speaking of potentially bombs and taking down mini Moldorms, a little bit riskier here. These guys seem to be pretty elusive. Good thing he actually ended up buying bombs.
Yeah, no problem there. And then he did save that one bomb over for Ice Rod Cave. It's going perfectly. But you know what? We'll just get a refill.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Mini Moldorm is for. Oh man, and okay, so we're gonna have to farm a little bit less money. I don't know. Okay, so 400 is that over the threshold of you're willing to farm money in the rock?
Man,
you know, never mind. We're not going to answer that question quite yet.
We'll just go to Kakariko instead, maybe.
Oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea.
A little unlucky there that Octorok interrupted his dash and then also had the aggro. Yeah,
it kind of also happened on the guards too. You know, and this is kind of like the downside of, you know, not having kind of like a sword, right? You know, we got boots, we got real boots, you know, pretty early on. But we really kind of need some sort of weapon in order to, you know, not keep getting like caught, you know, in guards or enemies. Basically, just keep taking damage.
And who knows? Maybe that was like the biggest time save of the race that Eri's going to find because there was nothing in Ice Rod Cave, and then maybe he was going to do like Water Walk, which would gotten nothing, and then, you know, instead maybe he'll
that's very possible.
He'll just come over here to Kakariko, get his Dark World access, and go into the Dark World. And then, what? There's 2 items in Skull Woods. You could probably find Go mode there, maybe, and then he'll just be done.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, and of course, this is ladder. You know, how could we ever doubt the progression that is going to be in Skull Woods? Doesn't even have to be in the back or anything. That's why we don't need a fire rod in order to go in.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just gonna open a chest, and it's not even gonna be an item. It's just gonna be a text box that says Go mode.
Yeah, we're gonna have in this case like 5 items in one chest, like, you know, Samaria, a bunch of medallions, you know, the hammer, the mirror, you know, and a couple swords to boot.
If I were to guess though, like what your question earlier, I don't think Eri would have farmed money, and like I can say that now because now like you can't prove me wrong because we probably won't be in that position. I think humbugh might though.
I guess, yeah, I mean, this is maybe, like, hedging some bets, you know, going over to Agina, maybe trying to find something a little bit extra, you know, for himself, maybe a little bit of extra money. Oh my gosh, well, there's some extra knowledge for you, because that is just a Kena Samaria, by the way, sitting on Desert Ledge.
That's very nice to know that that's there. Yeah. I think in humbugh's position, whenever he gets over there, he's still going to be missing what? You know, to his knowledge, glove, hammer, / pearl, but he knows that he already has 1 glove, and Zora could, like, potentially be, you know, that one thing he needs. He might farm the money rather than go over to Eastern, but we'll see.
Yeah, alright, humbugh actually finding our first bottle in Agina. You know, still could lead to progression. You know, Lazy Kid certainly is not going to be shy in these types of seeds either.
Yeah, you can turn that bottle into Sick Kid and get a item.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, it's certainly not unheard of for a bottle or something as sick as be progression. You know, we are still kind of looking for some pretty big things. In order to get a desert, of course, you know, chances are that Kena Samaria is going to be, you know, very, very strongly recommended, you know, in this seed. I guess we don't know anything about, you know, pendants at Mire and Turtle Rock quite yet, but you're pretty much always going to want that cane. So maybe a book, you know, flute with some, you know, a mirror, you know, to go alongside with it. Humbugh is just having very similar luck, it looks like, with the mini Moldorm Cave.
He got there a little bit better. He has 3 bombs. You know, Eri had 1. Whatever. Alright, yeah. And then, yeah, we did get our Dark World access in the CAC. He even did the South route, too, so very fluid to just kind of hop over here into the Dark World. Getting the map check. Pendant at Skull Woods, pendant at Turtle Rock, and there was a 5/6 crystal somewhere else. I didn't see it.
Okay. Oh, man. Well, you know, the Compy 386 is definitely going to pick it up. And speaking of, in this case, right, Eri recognizes that this is a ladder finals. He literally just went, you know, straight to the Dark World after Kakariko, after finding the mist in the back of the tavern. We are here in Skull Woods. First stop in Dark World. Are we surprised?
Yeah. You watch Eri right now. I gotta keep my eyes hot on this Ice Rod Cave because, you know, we know the implications that it can have in this race. You like Vanilla would have me, you know, biting my tongue a little bit here. Well,
oh,
that's pretty nice.
That's a pretty nice find for Humbugh, our first sword of the game on Humbugh's side. Now, of course, keep in mind that, you know, there are 4 of them out there, you know, and
yeah, so still plenty of other opportunities for Eri to find that sword, but yeah, that death seemingly kind of pushed him away from this one, you know, at the very start. Humbugh also is not interested in going into that rupee farm. God, it would have had to be like 6 times, I suppose, to get his money to Zora. But, you know, he might get paid off here. Nice little hover over there from Eri, too.
Yeah, forget bombs. He realizes that, you know, we have real boots. Why not take advantage of them? Oh, like that was actually a really nice magic refill as well.
Yeah.
Humbugh with the bottle.
It was so nice that it even made his bottle appear on the tracker.
Yeah. So, alright, so yeah, Humbugh doesn't have enough money. He's not gonna check Zora or Zora Ledge at this point. Not even getting to probably take a peek at what's on, you know, what's on there. Certainly very reasonable. I don't believe we actually found anything though in the front of Skullwood, so Eri, you know, looks like he is gonna check out Bumper. It's just a friendly hello spritz, you know, to the guard. I don't know if it actually ends up doing anything, but we're gonna be here now in the Village Outcasts.
Notably too, Humbugh just got the mirror from Hobo. Like that's huge.
Oh my gosh, dude,
value.
Humbugh is Man, that Octorok, I think, is going to be Humbugg's like best friend. You know, for this particular seed, he really did a number on Eri.
I gotta say, what Humbugh's doing right now seems pretty brave. We're gonna sequence break up the mountain, I suppose. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a weird one because you're missing the lamp. But when you're going up to Hera with no hook shot and you don't have a lamp, like that could be I don't know. But I mean, I guess if you go up there and it is like, you know, just a small key and no big key, then like you don't have a lamp, you're never going to be pressured to do the basement because you can't. And I guess that's a good way to avoid that situation.
Yeah, right. It's like, do I want to sit through Hera basement? You know, you never have to give yourself that choice or opportunity. You know, all the more power to you. Eri is really, you know, on one heart. You know, we might be able to hear Eri's, you know, heartbeats of encouragement, but he really needs to be careful.
Yeah, this is he's setting up his death for it. He'll be fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no worries. Also, this isn't even just locked by lamp. Hera's also locked by lamp and like flippers.
Oh yeah, that's true so far. Yeah, gonna be pretty telling in this case. You know, what we can actually kind of get, at least what is inside Hera. You know, so no hook shot, no hammer means we can't really get to the rest of the mountain. You know, for Humbugh, but certainly gonna be pretty interested in knowing what is available.
But very seemingly a very fortunate like situation to be in. It's kind of like the scary part whenever you're the one that gets the early dark roll access and your opponent doesn't, so they're, you know, doing a little bit more of the other checks. And like the fact that he found a sword, he found the mirror, he also like went to the waterfall fairy, which didn't have anything except he was able to throw his bottle in and get a green potion. Like that's a lot of value from like a very few amount of checks. Oh boy. Oh well, there's another bottle.
A second bottle.
All right. So big game on one side, and then yeah, we did get the big key. So like, you know, shows what I know about trying to come up here without the fire source. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Well, Well, I mean, you know, like that means that at least a Hera is going to be completable, and he is going to. I mean, he might still be able to leave an item in the basement, but I guess, you know, without a fire source, well, you know, I guess we're just gonna maybe either have to come back later or, you know, nothing. Eri's not really kind of getting much value though so far out of the Village of Outcasts. Can't even beat the text box in order to, you know, to get out of the dig game. But still, in this case, but I guess for what it's worth, we are kind of inching closer to Zora money on his side. And of course, you know, with maybe enough 500 rupees, he is gonna then kind of go back to South Shore and maybe, you know, try again and kind of like replicate, you know, what Humbugh did, right? Do the water walk, go to Ice Rod Cave, get his mirror, etc.
Yeah,
assuming he doesn't.
We'll have to see. I mean, like, I think something's probably going to show up sooner than later. It could be something just as simple as a lamp to get us over to, like, East Ark World or whatnot, or flippers, or, you know, hammer. But I think at this point, like, you got maybe still an item dragon in Skull Woods, I think. Because I don't know if we did that to fruition, and, like, you know, the mirrorless Smith sequence.
Yeah, this is also going to be, yeah, I mean, right, so this is available to Eri is, like, he's acting like he has Red Veil on. He really is not concerned, it seems like, or he just has really good health management because that one heart, regardless of what he has, always really seems to be, you know, saving him.
That's alright.
That was so close. Oh, alright.
We got ether, not too useful yet. A shovel?
There's a shovel. Oh,
and there's
wow. Yeah, okay, that's a full, complete, every Dark World portal available to us. And not only, of course, you know, we do have finally some sort of permanent weapon on Eri's side, at least. You know, does do temper sword damage. Still doesn't help him with his overworld dashes, but hopefully he's going to be able to get that sword shortly. Meanwhile, Humbugh, though, was not a kind fight with him for Moldor, you know, to begin with. But the cape the second time around is, oh my gosh, Eri. You know, that half a heart, the full heart becomes half a heart, but you know that the important part is that he is still alive. Amazingly.
Yeah, he's most certainly.
Oh my god.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed that he was confident enough that Fairy was going to refill him rather than that arrow hit him in the side of the head, but it's really no big deal. We're good. All right, now are we turning this frog into a monkey, or are we taking him to the aquarium? Looks
Yeah,
like we're going to the aquarium.
it looks like it too. You know, he's really good at his feet. Looks like pretty thorough. Gonna check catfish. But you know, this is also kind of like that late or early mirror advantage on Humbug side. You kind of see Eri taking, you know, a pretty, you know, hefty route, you know, throughout Dark World, and you know, especially for Eri, right? You know, he could actually just mirror, like for example, do Zora, or you know, the mirrorless Smith chain is a lot nicer with the mirror, right? Certainly going to be a little bit of time given back to Humbug if, like, once he ends up doing this stuff.
Well, I mean, that's under the assumption that that's also what Humbug's going to do. He might be in a completely different position. He has the option to go further in Thieves Town if he wants, which could be, like, you know, good for him if he finds something good down there. It could be awful for him if there's something in, you know, Thieves Town Big Chest, but the Smith sequence also is going to be completely different on his side too, because he's going to have a mirror, so he's probably going to be triple chest along with it as well.
Yeah, and you can check K45. You know that Eri had to go pass up as well. So yeah, that early mirror and you know, and the early water walk, you know, to like Ice Rock Cave and Hobo, it's is really, you know, giving Humbug a pretty good, you know, early advantage.
Yeah, man. Wonder where the next piece is going to be. I mean, like, Hammer, oh gosh, like, even on Humbug's side, he could just take that hammer and just go right back up to Death Mountain if he wants to, and check Paradox Cave and all that good stuff too. Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like the Humbug, you know, access to Dark World, you know, via those myths from Sahasrahla. He is also just kind of following suit. Also, apparently, first stop is Skull Woods. I believe it was noted that Eri actually only did the front of Skull Woods. He did not go to the middle of the key chest. Maybe influenced by the fact that he doesn't have a sword, you know, no Kano Samari to kind of make things easy. Maybe he's going to just kind of opt to save that. I assumed that Humbug would go back. At least, just because he does have a sword, makes his life a little bit nicer.
Yeah, a little bit more reasonable to do these rooms and not get bodied, and you have like such low health too, so you only get a few mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, somebody asked if Eri did Uncle, and that, well, I'm sitting here trying to scratch my head. Did anybody, like, I actually forgot the front of Escape existed.
This is open mode. I'm actually trying to think. I mean, I know that we did start at Link's house, but I'm pretty sure nobody has gone north from Link's house. It was all east and south. All right.
So, I mean, that's some other things that, you know, Humbug can do. If he wants to go up check Pyramid, he can mirror and, you know, get all of those other checks out of the way. But again,
that's true.
That could be a time loss. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a time save. We'll have to see.
Alright, just a small key in the vanilla big key chest, so really, the front of Skull Woods, there were a bunch of keys. There were a bunch of keys and dungeon items, yep,
Yeah, so, make sure you guys get all of your maps and compasses and small keys and big keys, so that way whenever you go to the back, whenever you get your go mode fire rod that you're not going to do anyways, because you're going to be, you know, not, if you're in go mode, you're not going to a pendant.
Yes, that's correct. Oh yeah, that's true. According to the Compy 386, Skull Woods is actually not only a pendant, it's the green pendant. So I guess, I guess maybe that made it more willing or more appetizing in order to kind of at least dip the front. Eri, by the way, we was really playing with fire against that moblin, trying to, you know, get out in the overworld. And another overworld death probably at that point would not have been like the end of the world, but given that he's already kind of taken one overworld death, he's been basically on the brink of death since then. The entire time may not be great.
How do you feel about, like, dungeon deaths, though? We're in Thieves Town with green mail and 5 hearts and no sword, so we have a cape. It's pretty nice, but it's not really going to help us too much on blind. I mean, you can use it, but you can't use that in tandem with the hammer.
No, that's actually a really good point as well. We also don't really have, you know, Humbug found 2 bottles, right? Eri has 0.
Yes.
So yeah, we're kind of also a little bit lower on the safety side on Eri as well. This is getting pretty aggressive. I think Eri is also hoping, you know, that he will pick up something. Thieves Town certainly doesn't look like it so far.
Sword, please.
Yeah, sword would make Eri very, very happy.
Yeah. And like
Mhm.
you've been, wincing, I think roughly every 15 seconds. That is a lot due to the fact that he did not get that sword in Ice Rod Cave, just because moving around the overworld fast is pretty tough to do without a sword.
Yeah, and especially these grasshoppers, right? They also do 2 hearts of damage. It's not like he has to really be conscious and like stop his dash, right? Because one hit would pretty much just put him in one hit KO mode.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, he has 6 hearts, by the way. I don't know what I was freaking out about. He's fine.
Oh
I thought
yeah.
it was 5. He's got 6. Good, we're good.
But okay, all right, okay. He has 4.5 now. He
No,
probably
he has
takes one
5.
more.
I can't, dude. I need to go back to bed.
No, it's still pretty early, of course, in the day. But yeah, I was gonna say he has 5 full hearts now. I'm sure he'll be fine. Look at all these little hearts just kind of dropping left and right. We don't know why. Oh my gosh, Ari was so worried. So worried. Never mind. Oh man, this is yeah, Thieves Town is really not fun without a sword, as Ari is kind of demonstrating.
It's a rough one for sure. Alright, what's in this big chest? This could be big. It's just a map, so
it's just a
really.
map, yeah. So I think the last item is going to be online. I think we already saw the compass. Oh, that was actually a really nice conveyor belt room on Aries' side. Didn't have to he just completely avoided the enemies to begin with.
No, they avoided him. That's what they always tell you. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. You gotta remember that. All right. Well, here we go.
Okay, how is yeah, I mean, I'm so if anyone's going to execute a hammer script on blind, you want to see Ari doing this, because Ari is they're both so good at execution. Like, this is going to be quite the treat for us. He's also brave enough to just actually quick swap over to the cape as opposed to pause the menuing over. Oh my gosh, Ari! Amazing.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt on that one.
Wow.
I almost passed out.
This is why Ari is so good, and he gets pretty far in random. This is a very, very impressive blind fight right there. Holy cow.
Yeah, when you're hammering above his head too, you're just being like, don't shoot a laser, please don't shoot a laser.
Oh jeez, I don't know how he didn't also get hit by the ghost, but decided to kind of take another hit with the blue card. Also fine, but yeah, it looks like Ari is going to at least finish up hammer pegs, presumably grab the purple chest alongside. But again, if Humbugh does this, on his side, he does have the mirror. Even though Ari does have the boots, we still can't hammer dash through these pegs because Ari is still missing that sword from Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, hey, look, there's a hook
shot. A hook shot, yeah. No, you know what? That's actually amazing for Ari right there. I didn't actually consider hammer pegs, so it will really depend on how Humbugh routes it, but he's gonna have mirror and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, he won't have
hammer. He can do
hammer,
everything, but he won't have hammer, and he can, orphan that hook shot as well, which is very much required this seed. So that could be a big difference in this race right there. That's a good find for Ari. He needs something like that right now.
Yeah.
Wow. It just got interesting. All right, well, that's hookshot. I mean, that's also all of
Death Mountain.
Dark Death Mountain out of logic, but most certainly something he can do. He hasn't even been up there yet either. He can even go and do Hera.
Oh, that is an interesting ice rod, given, of course, that we do have Turtle Rock as a pendant.
Wow.
So Eric also dashed over here without checking Desert Ledge. Do you think he's gonna go later and check that? Or he's just gonna count on the bow or the book or the mirror or whatever and gonna go and flute over there later?
It's really gonna depend. I guess how pivotal the flippers are going to play a role in this seed today, because he's gonna get flute, and if he gets flute, he might just flute over there and jump down for a half second just to look and flute back. That cute little move everybody does. But that's a good point to bring up too, that he doesn't know that cane's there quite yet.
Yeah. I mean, this is no one really likes to kind of go out of their way, in order to maybe scout things, because it is extra time. But I don't know. This is it's a pretty
Well, whenever you're going to waste that time, but actually probably get yourself time-saving knowledge, that's when we recommend doing it.
Just know when to go over there and scout it, and know when not to. See advice with humbug, by the way. Taking down blind, like a very, much more relaxed.
A little bit more fun with the sword, but I'm telling you, that hookshot's a big deal, and like we might even see both of them do like Death Mountain and like completely different ways, where Eri goes up there without hookshot and without mirror, and he's kind of got to go like wrap around back and forth. Then Humbugh's gonna go up there without hookshot, so he's got to go up the long way, and then maybe
yeah, that's also true. That's true.
Ooh, this is,
very different. Yeah, very different items in terms of mobility. And we got to see. No, you're absolutely right. And like we actually kind of see right now, Humbug right with that mirror, he is going to be super efficient. You mentioned this earlier, right? You can do magic bats, you do smith chain with the mirror, take on the purple chest. But once he kind of finds that, like after this, he really doesn't have anything else to kind of draw him back over to hammer pegs, right?
Yeah, and the fact that he's doing everything too, he has nothing to draw him back. And as far as efficiencies go, this is also like something a little bit different. Eri, did this on the second trim, so he had a hammer. Humbugh doesn't have one, so he's got to go back and find a new portal. He blocked us off with a peg. But hammer could be back there, for all he knows.
Yeah, that's very true. And we actually got powder pretty early too, right? Well, you can't really. If the hammer is at magic bat, this is the only way to go get it.
Even more interesting too is like, Humbugh. I don't know. I have no idea what he's gonna do here. Whenever he gets his hammer too, like he could think to himself, I can go back up to Death Mountain and check Paradox Cave, and I have Super Bunny Cave. Pretty cool. I could also just take this hammer and just keep going north. I've got Pyramid, I've got Escape, I've got Catfish, I've got Zora. I also have Pod, I have Eastern. I couldn't tell you like how to make a decision on those.
We're still missing that one bow that we're that them to see. I think with that certainly Pod Eastern is going to be really, really appealing. But again also right, like Pod Eastern's also together. Humbugh's got the mirror. For all you know, the bow is just sitting in Eastern, right? So why not? Like it's certainly going to be pretty efficient as well.
I just think everything I listed off though all sounds like miles and miles better than hammer pegs.
It's just like the one hammer, the one location that you have to basically go back to. You don't even have a flute, by the way, right? In order to kind of go back here, to visit the village, so you're gonna have to like run back over as well.
Yeah, well, we'll be getting the flute eventually, so I guess if you were gonna do it at any time, that would be a good one. But Lord, I have no idea.
If you have the flute, though, I don't know. Okay, so I guess maybe it depends on what else, like the hookshot kind of locking. Maybe it'll be higher on, a Humbugh's priority list once he kind of runs out of stuff to do. But
yeah. If it's absolutely literally nothing up here, and Bo is just saying Eastern, then it might work out in his favor, but. Time will tell. I
guess right. So I guess the question would be, do you go dive swamp looking for the hook shot versus hammer pegs?
Oh, we're going that far down the road. Hold on. Let me get these dang flippers out first, man. I can't foresee this far into the future.
That is certainly true. Yeah, speaking of, actually, where are those flippers? We've seen actually quite a bit, so far, and we don't even have like logical mountain access right now, right? Like no lamp, no flutes. A front of escape actually is now maybe to look a little bit, more appetizing.
No, just because you're more hungry doesn't make it like a better meal for you. Well, nothing in these mirror checks so far for Humbugh. So Eri's not going to be, missing too much from that stuff quite yet. Maybe just the overworld movement and inefficiencies, but like outside of that, it's not like Humbugh got any great advantage from it. All right, but yeah, Eri will be coming over here to do Hera, and then, man, another little fun stat that we could probably get going is, like, how many bosses will Humbugh be able to kill with a sword that Eri couldn't?
Oh, dude. That's also a really great question, because we haven't actually seen any other swords either, outside of the one from Ice Rock Cave that Humbugh got. And so, this is going to be Aries' second boss kill, you know, with the hammer. Slightly going to be more,
Yeah,
hopefully going to be easier. Yeah.
You know, the other one. So I'd say they trade off value as far as having sword versus having hammer.
Of course, yeah. And Ari, of course, remembering now that he has like the real boots, so he doesn't have to, you know, do any type of shenanigans with like pseudo boots bonking and like setting up bomb jumps or whatever. He can actually just bonk back over.
Yeah, easy peasy.
All right, Helmut's gonna pick up his hammer, and he is probably going to be, you know, groaning to himself like, oh, there is still hammer pegs over there.
Nah, he's gonna be, hey, there's nothing in hammer.
Yeah, I'm sure there's nothing over there. Yeah, fun fact, by the way, you know, in the Mimic Clip Seed versus between Humbugh and Airy, that is actually where the bow was, in hammer pegs, and it was like hammer quote unquote go mode. I think after like Hammer and Mire or something like that. So it was like you were just never gonna go back basically to hammer pegs unless it was like a very, very last, you know, resort.
No, hammer pegs is a location with, you know, a lot of blood on its hands for sure in this randomizer history, because it's very easy to orphan and it's very easy to find lots of, like, I mean, you know, it's unlocked by the hammer, but when you find hammer opens up so many other things that you want to do.
Exactly, right. Alright, so speaking of, by the way, Humbugh here is in the front, or he's in the pyramid, and looks like actually he is going to use that mirror and gonna do the front of escape.
Alright.
So yeah, hopefully this is gonna give us a bit of more of a clue as to where our logical mountain access is, because again, you know, like, I mean, for all we know, the lamp is just gonna sit here somewhere, right? But if it's the flute, also, that's gonna be a pretty interesting find, and hey, look, Ari found a sword. Finally! Yeah. Greatest accomplishment so far in 30 minutes on Ari's side. Oh my gosh, there is the bow.
Wow.
I think that's good for Ari, right? So far. I think. I'm just trying to think back when Humbugh's gonna go back to hammer pegs for that hook shot.
If you want my honest opinion, I feel like that is a very high mental damage bow, because you had to go over to Saha. Well, the thing is, they had no weapons, so that's kind of why really none of them ever went up here. But I don't know, man. If you're thinking like, I don't know, you know, someone found this bow before, like they found their Dark World access, and they just go over to Eastern, get their Dark World access, you know, and then they're like, well, what else could be in Eastern? And you could be thinking that your opponent had all of these items, you know, way before you.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of potentially other items, so that's bombos. We haven't seen the fire rod yet. We actually maybe potentially not need the fire rod, given Skullblitz is a pendant and Turtle Rock is a pendant. You know, that actually could be our ticket into Ice Palace.
Yeah. I mean, this is getting interesting, and then also like, very convenient boat timing for Humbugh, because now he can just kind of waltz his way over to Eastern Empod all together. Yeah. But yeah, hook shot. Hook shot seems like a big deal still.
Yeah. I mean, Humbugh, like, doing the front of escape has basically opened up a lot more options, right? He's got Eastern, he's got Pod, he's got Ice Palace. Like, granted, there is no cane. Maybe he wants to wait for, you know, a book or something like that in order to do Desert, or to grab the cane first. But I mean, like, there are so many crystal dungeons at this point that he can kind of go after without, you know, that one isolated hammer pegs location.
Do we need a fire rod?
No, we may not need it. I mean, so it could still be logically needed, you know, for right side GT. But, you know, maybe we'll find the lamp or something. Oh man, Ari, finding our third sword in Spike Cave. That's really
a pretty big get right there.
Yeah. Right, we don't know where the fourth sword is. You know, for all we know, maybe it's like locked in, you know, GT somewhere, right? Or some pendant dungeon we're never gonna go visit. That's gonna be quite the good news. I'm gonna assume that Ari will do Ice Rod Cave at some point. So he'll probably do Temper. Maybe not. No, well, okay, or maybe not. I mean, so okay, Ice Rock Cave probably seems more amicable than Spike Cave for Humbugh.
Right. Well, you know what? Maybe. I mean, it really is going to depend. Whenever like Humbugh, he's going to go up the mountain, and like there was nothing up there except for a sword and spiral cave. Why would he just like, if he goes up there and still looking for items? He's probably not gonna leave without doing Spike Cave. I think that's my point. I think so. I see him getting that one. Ice Rod Cave though, I think that's an easy one to write off at this point if you're Ari and you don't like find that flute within a reasonable timeline.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess like we could be seeing flute go mode. No, that's certainly a possibility. course, we know we have all knowledge of all the medallions, so not certainly going to be too big of a worry. At least for minor entry, right? Eri just picking up the Spot Bus medallion. So, and of course, we may not need Ice Rod. So yeah.
Yeah, and if we find Flute, like that should probably. I mean, if whenever humbugh finds Flute. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this right. You should know that, like, there's nothing in Swamp. Like...
Yeah, because I think he would just need flippers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, like, he doesn't know where the hookshot is. I mean, do you think there might be something in the front of Swamp?
Yeah, you could still do... I don't know.
Yeah, I guess maybe it depends on what his sequencing of order... Right, he needs to go find... If he doesn't find flippers before the hookshot...
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Man, I don't even know, man. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I should probably just watch. We got a bug net and escape. I'm just gonna watch now.
Yeah.
My brain's scrambling at trying to figure out like who's got a better position right now. There's a lot of variables going on.
Yeah, and right now Eri just did the front of escape as well. So and right now, surprisingly, being 30 minutes without a sword, yeah, Eri went from 0 to 2 swords, in the span of 5 minutes basically. And
humbugh just had his one for.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Uncharacteristic bonk on Eri's side, but looks like he is going to at least, but no mirror. It's not going to be something that's very, I guess, convenient in order to combo, Eastern and Pod together. So it looks like we're going to go into the Light World, do Eastern Palace first, and then presumably, Eri is going to have to run back down to get to the Dark World portal because he's not going to find a mirror here, and humbugh is just going to basically take his portal out. Oh man, unfortunately, not getting the enough damage boost off of the Popo. I'm gonna have to redo this room again.
A little too invincible for his own game.
Yeah, Eri also, by the way, this is his like 3rd dungeon, right? And he has exploded to 7 hearts total at this point.
Yeah, I mean just and the male upgrade too.
Mm-hmm. So... Oh yeah, that's true. It was on Mushroom, and I don't think actually humbugh has actually turned that Mushroom in yet.
No, I think he was. I don't know. He was probably weighing his options there, whether or not he was going to go do like Catfish and Zora, combo that with Mushroom. But I think Bow and Escape definitely was like, all right, there's no choice anymore. We're going over to this, gold mine.
Yeah, I kind of also do wonder, if somebody, if humbugh, thinks that Eri went up to Uncle early, or Eri thinks that humbugh went up to Uncle early. On the bow, right? Eastern Palace actually is more, I guess, of a liability now because with the bow, you're definitely just going straight over to Eastern, right? And so if there's something here, right, then your opponent could have had this quite early. Oh no, double readies was just a little bit too early on a humbugh's side, so it didn't quite get that arrow count.
Another case of just a little too invincible.
Nope. Yeah, these guys are going too fast for their own good. They really gotta like slow down.
Alright, yeah, so I've run the numbers now. I think Eri has a pretty good standing in this race. I've decided that's gonna be.
You've decided this? Okay, yeah, alright. Yeah. Okay, so what actually are we... Yeah, what's up?
Because of where that mirror was, and like, the fact that he probably won't get that mirror until it gets the flippers, then like, it really puts... Like... There was nothing behind the mirror, and I think by the time he gets it, like, if there is anything, it's going to be in Swamp, and I think whenever Eri does get mirror, Swamp's probably going to be one of the first things on his table. So I think, honestly, the mirror is going to be maybe more of a time loss for humbugh. That's my bold prediction.
Alright, okay. Well, at least within Pod so far. Hey, look, there's a fire rod. Okay. I was gonna say, right, at least within Pod though, humbugh is gonna take a little bit more of a time advantage, just because Pod routing with the mirror is way nicer than. I don't know what Eri's gonna do honestly, because he's on. Again, maybe he wishes he was on 4 hearts. Green mail. Death warping isn't fun in here.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He's, he got his hearts at the worst time, right when he needed to die. Okay, yeah, I think he accidentally got a poke in this dark room, so... Or, no, what? Maybe he just didn't like where that Igor was. Anyways, we're good.
Yeah, if only we could see.
Yeah, there was
Eri and humbugh can, they have, like, they don't even need high definition in order to get through these dark rooms. Like, it's just literal all black.
I suppose that makes that fire rod really convenient too. That'll make the turtles room, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more bearable. We did have medallions and stuff to pad in case, but fire rod's pretty nice if you know how to find that torch in that room.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and every confidence course for both Harry and Humbug in order to get through the turtles room, but, you know, again, it always just goes faster if you can actually see where the turtles are.
Alright. Ariel will be getting his Eastern Palace crystal, and he's not going to have a convenient Dark World portal waiting for him because, you know, missing that mirror, so he'll have to walk down a little bit.
He can at least run down, right? That's faster than walking.
Well, you know, you can't run downstairs because that's not for some reason.
Yeah, that's actually that's actually a good point. Yeah.
Notably, too, Eastern Palace was our last of our 5-6 crystals, so that's something else we can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, right. So Aries still missing the mirror. You know, actually, would be pretty nice to be able to like combo that when we go into swamp, or at least that portal.
Yeah, yeah. But for all he knows, that mirror could be in there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
It's kind of weird too because I guess Eastern is like that 5. Yeah, that 5-6 is in logic with that fire rod and pod. You know, he doesn't know it yet, but he will once he gets there. Correct? Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, Dark World X was all good and ready. And then of course, pod being the first chest is always going to be accessible.
All right, all of the small keys today. So
yeah, we outside of the fire rod, we haven't really seen too much else in pod. Not even sure if we found the big key yet, but I guess we're gonna find out. No, we have just found the big key. Okay,
there
so
it is.
So we're gonna go. I guess Humbug is gonna check Dark Maze. Of course, the Dark Maze stuff is going to be out of logic until we find that lamp. Fire rod does not cut it because we don't have any torches in this room. I want to say the Humbug might have gotten slightly lost before this. Maybe not, but it's still going to be
It was dark in there.
Difficult.
You know,
exactly.
You can see what he was doing. It's your word against his.
Yeah, I mean, he did turn on HD for this one, so we do see kind of like the sparklies trying to kind of guide his path. But of course, him, having the mirror, he is going to be able to he's going to mirror out from the big chest. Versus Eri, again, at least. The Kadongos and like the fire is armor agnostic, but he is going to have to probably set up another death warp in order to try and get out. Yeah, pod is empty outside of the fire rod.
Well, you know what that means, right? So we're missing a flute, and we are missing the flippers.
Mm-hmm.
There is a very notably high value ladder dungeon with not only like it usually has 2 items. Today it has 3. I mean, I guess technically 4 items, but like obviously the flute and the flippers are both going to be in there.
We saw nothing in the front of Skullwoods, but you're right. It would definitely not be a ladder's finals seed if there wasn't something in Skullwoods. Otherwise, basically the seed is broken, and we're gonna have to basically have a reroll on this. Give us some tech support.
No, they'll just glitch their way. They'll figure it out.
It does kind of make me wonder where that lamp is, because we've seen a lot of stuff right so far, and especially even like early Sphere stuff, right? And right now the lamp is we still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Skullwoods does look like a good place for the lamp.
The lamp, okay, so the Skullwoods gonna have the lamp.
Catfish. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. So we did see catfish on Aries' side, and it was
that's what I meant. Yeah, not catfish. Big Bomb? I think it could be there.
Yeah, Big Bomb could certainly be a thing. Yeah, that's right, because Easter was only Fire Rod locked, and I think everything else was logically available for us.
Yeah, and I think with all those too, it doesn't even have to be the lamp. You could replace it with flute,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, heck, even flippers. Like, yeah, it's a weird one. That lamp can practically be anywhere, I think. All right. All right. So yeah, I guess big factors in this seed is that there's a hook shot over in Hammer Pegs that Humbug does not know about, but there's also a mirror that's on Hobo that Eri doesn't know about. There's also a cane of Samaria that's hanging out in Desert Ledge that Eri does not know about, and Eri is the one without the mirror. So some interesting stuff going on right now. Humbug has not been to Death Mountain on the east side at all, so he's got all those checks available.
Yeah, I mean, with the mirror, with the hammer, he might be tempted to go back up. You know, maybe also, I don't know. I don't know if he wants to wait though, potentially, or try to get like the Cane of Samaria out from Desert Ledge first, right? I don't know how tempted he would be in order to try and maybe go into Turtle Rock because he, at this point, you know, has everything that he needs in order to get in. He just kind of needs like that access for Samaria.
I mean, it's kind of a weird one to. If you think about it, like you're like, okay, so in order for any of this stuff to be in logic, I need flute and lamp. And if he finds flute, that gives him Samaria outright. So it's like a 50% chance of like, you know, if I came up here, then I would probably find the good item that I needed to, I guess, do Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah. And if he can find flippers, I want to say if he finds flippers after flute, I think he is safe from Swamp Palace in order to look for the hook shot, right? I think. I would have to think about this more.
I mean, that depends whether or not he's gonna, you know, go over to hammer pegs.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's true. All right. Yeah. Our dead
but
rock.
I mean, like, never doing hammer pegs before you decide to do hookless swamp is not outside of the realm of, you know, any imagination either.
Yeah. It is actually, I mean, it's not unreasonable, like, for you to, like, go over to Village Outcast, do hammer pegs, and then go into Swamp. Swamp is, you know, just like any other dungeon, is going to be still, you know, quite the time commitment, because you really can't, like, get out, right? So, it's, you know, he could, if we have a book, for example, as well, I can also see him doing, like, Bobo's Tablet, you know, beforehand. Spiral Cave not treating Humbugh quite well, but he is going to get rewarded with his Master Sword. So, presumably he is going to do Spike Cave then after this?
You know, maybe.
After Dark Death Mountain?
If he decides to, like, run into one of these red Tektites, I think that would probably change his routing a little bit. But
that is also a very good point. I think it's really his decision, out of curiosity, or you think it's the red Tektites maybe being just a bit too
They're more
friendly?
afraid of you than you are of them. That still applies. I guess, what's Eri gonna do after this? Is he gonna go over to Skull Woods? Maybe he'll do Ice Rod Cave, fake flipper into ice?
I mean, he has ice pallets on the table. Like, he doesn't know about the Cane of Samaria either on Desert Ledge. But, you know, ice is another crystal available to him.
Yeah, it's just behind those flippers, and I don't know. It's
that is also true as well, right?
Doing a dungeon the slow way.
But
if
kind
anything,
of like,
I don't mind sequence breaking it, but you know, I'm not doing it without Kane.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Yeah, but I'm trying to kind of think that what other options, you know, are kind of available right now. Yeah, Skullwoods is actually looking surprisingly pretty good.
And then yeah, I guess Zora, you know, is something else that he can consider. What else?
Do you think in this case Eri is, and maybe also Humbugh, is actually just trying to look for something that is logical? Like, you know, what they have available logically to try and put everything kind of back in sequence? Because, you know, things can bring out a lot, right?
Right now, I'm gonna say no.
Oh, okay. That's also a good point. But I think also, yeah, the mountain was pretty empty, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that cane, yeah,
swords,
probably,
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But he is gonna, like, you know, again, he's gonna be leaving Hookshot Cave behind, and like moving down the road too, like him, if he, you know, doesn't hover these chests, which he might, I don't actually know. Whenever he does get caned and they're still missing something, like, you know, I guess flippers, man, I don't know, I guess Hookshot doesn't really make sense, but he'll have more items up here to check, and it kind of makes TR maybe a more valuable play to him than, say, you know, Eri. No, that's just some weird speculation. And yeah, he's coming over, so he'll get his tempered sword, so...
Yeah, this is actually really great news for Humbugh. You know, of course, no hookshot means he can't do the rest of Hookshot Cave, but he is going to be very rewarded with tempered.
And this is Big Bomb from Mary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Pyramid Fairy, and then, presumably then, into Skullwoods? Maybe run down to Ice Palace? No, I guess he's gonna have to save and quit, regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. He can do, yeah. I think Pyramid Fairy is just like, there's nothing really feasible for him to combo that with, so he'll just do that and then save and quit. And then what he'll do after that, I don't know. I think Humbugh's gonna be doing Pyramid Fairy here too, and then he'll probably take that catfish over to Zora if I were to guess. Which both could,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
That's
Zora
true.
could have something, Zora could have nothing, Pyramid Fairy could have something or nothing.
Yeah. But we're kind of running low on locations so that we can, you know, actually access, logically or not. But yeah, you also do bring up a good point though. Humbug hasn't been over to like North Dark World. He hasn't been over to the Catfish yet, so this also still might be something. And he does have the mirror, so he can also do, you know, potentially go and take a peek now at Zora and what's on the ledge. Nothing at Pyramid Fairy, just a bunch of more money. Are we going to Skullwoods? Is that where we're going now?
It looks likely. Nice bomb dupe there.
Yeah.
Well done, well done.
If only these guys were patient enough to wait until they found the fire rod and pod, then they could have, you know, just felt at least, you know, not as bad double dipping this place. But I mean, it's very, very reasonable, I think. For never mind, we're not going to the Skull Woods quite yet. Where are we going? Oh, Sick Kid. Ari hasn't checked this yet. That's right. All right, okay. So Sick Kid into Skull Woods. Gotcha.
He didn't have a bottle forever, and his
that's
was
true.
like so hindered by the fact of like he didn't have the mirror to
exactly
check it while he was over here in the Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, like, no mirror and no flute, you know, I mean, it is quite difficult, cumbersome in order to try and get around both Light World and Dark Worlds.
But there is actually, like, I think guaranteed to be something either on Zora or either in Skull. What else have we not seen that we could do?
Yeah, because I know the Humbug ended up doing all of, like, North Dark World, and both of them, of course, did, you know, Light and Dark. Where is Humbug going? Oh, I guess he wants to. Oh, the mushroom. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, good on him for remembering. So he's gonna be rewarded with a blue mail here. Gonna be a little bit more safety.
It's a really nice item. I mean, basically, almost effectively doubles your hearts. So it's... whenever you have mirror and you get the mail upgrades, you're feeling.
Yeah, you're very happy. That's right. Of course, Ari, you know, having a blue mail of his own but no mirror, he is at least going to be a bit more comfortable going into the back mouth. He doesn't have tempered, so no, you know, straight up NMG missile memory here, but you know, he's got the hammer, he's got a couple of fire rod shots probably, he's got Master Sword, he should be fine.
Right. Well, I guess it's, you know, you're gambling, playing the odds. You know, Skullwood seems probably to be the most likely to have the progression. I feel like it can't just be Lamp, though. No, like... it doesn't give us nothing. You gotta be thinking it's... flute? I mean... or book?
Yeah, book could certainly be something, right? I mean, you know, we need something in order to get us into desert. Or on top of desert.
Yeah, but I mean, like, then if you still don't have Lamp, it's... like, I don't know. I feel like it's gotta be like flute over here or something.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Okay, Ari taking down, or on his Mothula fight, and Humbug is going to show us, pretty much just shy of the hour mark, what we could have seen very, very early on if we had some more money. Not on Moth. Not on Zora. Well... Green Pendants are answer. Yeah, I think Ari didn't do the bridge chest yet, right? So he probably wanted to see what was on Mothula first. I think he's going to go and do the bridge chest now. We also don't have a book, so we can't actually see what is on Pedestal. I'm not actually sure if there's anything that could be on Ped that would be... Are we
going to Swamp Palace right now?
Oh,
we might be going into Swamp Palace.
We don't. Do we have flippers, Zach?
We don't have flippers, so we're not going into Swamp Palace.
Alright, okay. Is this Hammer Pegs from Humbug?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Is this shovel into hammer pegs?
Oh yeah, this could be shovel into hammer pegs into Skull Woods. Yeah, so this could be a very south route. So okay, this is great news for Humbug if he's gonna go this route because he is going to finally pick up that hookshot. He might feel a little bit bad though, because he still has hookshot cave now, like the rest of the 3 checks.
I mean, he's probably not just like
super incentivized.
Leave. I don't know if he'll do Skull Woods after he gets hookshot.
Oh yeah, that's also true too.
And here we go, Aries actually setting up a fake flipper and getting his mirror. So both of them pulling out these kind of odd checks at times I didn't foresee.
Yeah, well, we're basically like running super low on locations. Yeah, it's I mean, kudos to both Eri and Humbug, like to basically route in and just know how to execute in order to.
Oh, by the way, we have the flippers, so this makes a ton more sense.
Oh,
So
Eri found flippers in the bridge chest. Totally
didn't
missed
pay
that.
any attention at all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay,
That must have been what was on the bridge chest. So that's why he didn't go immediately turn in the green pendant, because he found some progression.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, alright, so so this is definitely going to be something, when I say definite, I mean, Aries is going to take the NMG route for the portal to go to North Dark World, to North Light.
He's gonna go
Ice Rock Cave, never mind!
Ari, you're gonna be so happy you are checking this chest, but you're gonna be so upset too.
Yeah,
like, honestly,
that is also true.
Don't open it, man. You don't want to know what's in here. You don't want to know.
So, okay, do you think he's gonna go to Zora after this, or he's just gonna dive straight into Ice?
We're going to Ice Palace, man. 1000%. Dang it! Oh,
yeah, Aries right. I definitely didn't leave a sword behind for the first, 20 minutes of the game.
But yeah, I mean, as the dust settles here, Eri seems to have an advantage. I mean, there are those isolated mirror checks that could, come back to bite him, but... And then, if he forgets about, Desert Ledge forever, that would be a odd one too. But no, I think he'll be all right here. This is working out for him.
Mm-hmm. And certainly not to bring up any, bad memories of Desert Ledge. There was, I believe, a main tournament seed where I think Eri actually spotted, Temper Sword or something on Desert Ledge. And as he was going through Desert, his NMG muscle memory just kicked in, and then he just went and didn't get the sword after getting out of Desert.
Okay, hold on a second. I changed my mind.
Oh, you
So humbugh, he knows about that cane, and he also just got these flippers.
Oh, he did bridge chest first, right? Because he has the mirror. He has more incentive. Holy cow!
If he finds the fluke here, he knows he's done. But when Eri finds the flute in Swamp, Eri's gonna have to keep checking stuff.
Because he doesn't know about the cane scenario on Desert. Oh man, the extra 5 seconds or whatever the humbug took in order to take a peek at that Desert Ledge is potentially actually paying off here. Of course, on the flip side is that if Swamp, let's say, comes up empty, right? Ice Palace comes in empty, and the green pendant is actually required. No one's watching this.
The green pendant is required. It's a cooked turkey. It's over. Call it a wrap.
Oh, that's a wrap. Oh, I like wraps.
It's a wrap,
turkey.
man. It's a wrap. Yeah,
with lettuce and tomato and.
Yes.
I guess what else do you put on that thing?
Barbecue bombos.
No, thank you. I think we're gonna, yeah, but this is certainly very, very, very interesting. All right, yeah. So so with so what is Humbug basically searching for here? He's just looking for flute, and then, so, do you think he'll check left side? He'll go to the back first, I assume.
I mean, yeah, he'll probably go to the back. I don't. Like I said, my man just went to Skull Woods and checked the bridge chest, and he's out. So
that mirror actually, I think, really could help. Yes. Yeah, and Eri here, and this is actually going to be a pretty big time difference between Eri and Humbug as well, going into Ice Palace. Well, okay, I shouldn't speak too fast, too soon, because we don't know in this case when Flute or Book or something will show up. Humbug actually might come in here without the cane as well.
If you find Book, you should swear to yourself, because
that's why we don't unmic something, right?
It gets you cane, it gets you TR, it gets you all that junk, and you're like, just give me the flute, let me go win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then, yeah, notably too, outside of just if he finds flute here, he's in go mode, but he'll also just be able to do Ice Palace in go mode and do it the fast way. There's a big key over there. So, oh man. Definitely some heavy eyes on that green pendant right now, because that could flip this race upside down for sure.
Yeah, because we haven't really found anything else of value here in in ice or swamp for that matter. I mean, you know, and I believe Eri has been on record saying that, you know, especially maybe like later on, you know, you do the green pendant, you would really like to see the prize turn in, you know, as soon as possible. However, though, no flutes, and it's just overworld travel. It is really kind of tedious and cumbersome in order to get over to Sapa to turn it in.
I think he'll do it after ice. Like finding the mirror kind of like enabled him to combo everything together here. So I think he'll probably do it after ice.
Yeah. We have to.
He's probably gonna do. I think this like route he was gonna do was probably.
Oh my gosh! Well, there is our flute for. That's actually a really interesting location. Okay, so Eri after flute activation, he's gonna go to Kakariko, and he is going to definitely go. He has a much better path now to turn in the green pendant for Saha.
I mean,
what is humbugh gonna do? Is he gonna dive into ice?
I mean. He might not. So we'll see. That's huge though. I mean, that's a really good one. But I mean, if you know humbugh skips left side, then it's up in the air. If humbugh does left side, then that's going to be some time you probably don't want to give up and erase this razor tight right now. I think he's going to go to like ice, and he's probably going to do it like pretty quick. But and there's only one item on left side too. Oh man. Oh my geez, this seems kind of close. We're going back in for that one item.
This is going to be Eri is definitely going to appreciate this time. The humbugh is going to spend doing left side swamp. And I actually don't remember if we got the big key or not. Hopefully it's the actual item in left side for humbugh's sake, versus like, you know, dungeon item plus big key, and then he has to kind of go all the way back over here.
Yeah, that's like almost like a 45-second time save right there. Yeah, minimum. Yeah.
All right, cold stare down for Eri.
We're gonna go. We don't have that big key.
Oh, all right, Eri. Okay, all right. Before flute activation, he's right close. You know, so he's pretty close. He's gonna look up, finish up the water checks. Gonna get his well spent 500 rupees for, I don't know, 10 arrows or something like that. But at least he's gonna finish this up. Go activate his flute, and then we're gonna. I think at this point, then Eri's gonna be able to find that Canis Mario on Desert Ledge, and then that's it, right?
Yep. Well, and I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
He might go turn in his green pendant. Like.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
What do you feel about doing a quick mirror check here and there? Like, you know.
Yeah.
These are the little tiny things of, like I said, this is like good for humbugh because now he's given Eri just, you know, or Eri's given him a little bit this time back. Oh man.
Yeah, that 5 seconds, man. If Eri just knew, like, you know, once he found the flute, all of the stuff, he could basically, you know, he could have just saved himself a lot of time.
Yeah. And humbugh has been in swamp for 80 seconds.
Yeah, for what seems like forever. All right, so hopefully in this case the item will turn up on the left side. Come on.
Yeah, big key and dungeon item is real kick in the teeth. Don't do it.
Oh man, luck out. At least we did find our one item. It is a worthless item at this point. But that at least enables humbugh to save, what, I don't know, 30 more seconds, or potentially whatever it is, to check the second chest, and doesn't have to necessarily even backtrack.
But I mean, that was basically a 2-minute trip there, and that doesn't include, like, all of the other chests and stuff to check, too, that, you know, might be on the table. And dude, Eri might go to swamp here. Like, does he have to go to, why would he go to Mire Ledge or Desert? Like,
you're right, yeah, no, that's definitely
you don't have Cane?
Oh, but he's going to 6 immediately?
Yeah. Like, this is kind of an interesting one. Like, you're like, oh man, what if the cane is just right here in Mire? But like, he doesn't need to come over here and scout the medallion.
Yeah, and he's well, he's not scouting the medallion, but yeah, it looks like he is. He's definitely very interested, I guess, in making Mire shed or something. I'm not actually sure at this point there's anything else of real value. I mean, maybe a lamp would be kind of nice to have for runners. Certainly, you know, at least for like, you know, Mire basement, right? You don't have to necessarily do, you know, dark spooky or anything like that. But this is finally
Oh, there
Hey,
it is. That's my
yes!
go mode.
Yeah, he's like,
Hey.
oh yeah, hey, I could have seen this like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. But yeah, that is an hour and 5 minutes. Ari is in go mode. He needs to finish up Meyer, conveniently right here, and he needs to finish up Swamp. Humbug is going through Ice Palace, also without the Kingdom Mario, so he's going to be, pretty much the same amount of time, the Aerie spent in Ice Palace, can't do Icebreaker. He is going to find the flute, he is going to activate it. He already knows where Kingdom Samaria is on Desert Ledge, and so it's going to be, at this point, a race between, the amount of time that Aerie spends in Swamp versus, the amount of time that Humbug spends in Ice and flute activation.
Yeah, I think Aerie is definitely got himself a little bit of a lead. This looks a little uphill for, Humbug. I mean, Swamp isn't necessarily the fastest dungeon to do in the world either, but full clearing it versus go mode, that's a tough hurdle to overcome.
Right. Yeah, and Humbug, it did go back in for, left side, right? Early on, like that's another 2 minutes, right? Or basically, it's in this case quite costly.
Where was that lamp or that flute and ice?
Iced tea.
Iced tea?
Iced tea. He's got a while.
I mean, if you go there right now, but, yeah, why would you?
Yeah. I mean, isn't Iced tea also one of those locations where you just always want to avoid and hope that the item isn't there? Because especially without the Kingdom Mario, right? It's just kind of a pain to get to.
This is perfectly reasonable routing.
Alright, Humbug actually, he knows he's one item from go mode, hopefully. If that, why save himself, the trip up here to the back of Ice Palace in the Nilabiki chest if it just happens to be in the Spike chest? So it's kind of good, optimization on his part.
Yeah, gotta remember to pull that tongue. Not every day you get to see that.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoyed it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. The frequency at which, you actually see Ice Palace done without the Kingdom Mario is certainly very low these days. So,
as it should be, Did you see where he pulled that tongue, onto that skeleton? Like,
you're right.
all. And we found our big key to Meyer, so we're heading off to the boss. Silver's tempered. We have blue mail. 5 hearts, which, I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of a time I didn't remember area with 5 hearts or less this seed. Is probably pretty minimal, so he'll be fine.
Right. I mean, it looks like, though, you'll forget HD. He is actually doing a pretty cool strat here with the hook shot, basically immediately hooking over to the pot and aligning himself and getting through that first room of Meyer. Really, actually, cool to see. Even cooler, by the say, yeah, in the dark.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. That was pretty nifty there. Alright, well,
by the way, Aries only on 1.5 hearts. I think he does have a red potion to his name.
He's a red and a green. He's got a bootleg blue.
He is not gonna die, right?
Well, he fell in the hole there, and it's fine. Literally not a big deal. Everyone should just calm down, take a deep breath. No big deal.
Well,
we are golden.
Yeah, we're all good.
And Humbugh is well on his way to go mode with the acquisition of the flute.
Yeah, and very understandable. For Aerie to basically just turn right around after the Kingdom Samara to do Meyer. It's going to be slightly less convenient for us, just because we won't necessarily get a true time difference. Because Air's gonna do Meyer and then he's gonna do Swamp versus Humbug. I don't know. Presumably he's gonna be, he's gonna do Meyer and then he'll go up.
Yeah.
So I guess we can see in this case, maybe when Aerie and Humbug kind of finishes their respective dungeons, but it's close.
Yeah, I feel like Aerie's, we're both killing this dungeon at the same time, but Humbug still has to go walk over, turn in his flute, play a little song, and then he's got to play a little song again until he can go into the dungeon. He won't have to, and then he has to go up, get his cane.
Yeah, but I mean, on the flip side though, Aerie's going to Swamp, right? He has to go to the portal. He has to drain the water. He's got to, it's still pretty tedious.
There's some nuances here to these dungeons, for sure.
The entry points at these dungeons, man, it's just more time than you might expect. Aerie, actually, what did he want to do? Maybe he just want to start at his house.
I don't know. He's whatever.
Okay.
We're here now, and that's all that matters, okay?
Yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah. Humbugh still has to open chest, though, whereas Aerie just kind of has to blitz his way over, and then, man, I don't know. If I was in Humbugh's position right now, I'd be like, yo, can I have that left side swamp time back? I didn't mean to check it. Can I get a backseat on that
Yeah,
one?
that is. Right. I mean, right. You mentioned like that. Area is not going to open up anything. Humbug in this case, still has to go search for the big key in Meyer. It was not in, the vanilla big key chest or anything like that. It was maybe like midway through the dungeon, but still, that is still like a lot of chests that you have to go open and go look for the key. And the basement of Meyer is going to take a bit longer. Again, Humbug does not have the lamp. Not that he necessarily needs it, but with the lamp, it's going to be arguably much faster, right? Because you can actually see where you're going.
Being an expert though, and remembering to get a Samaria, it's kind of one of those weird things where you know where an item is, and now you know that you can get it. Somehow that can get twisted in your brain that you just assume that you already
have it.
And get it.
Yeah.
And then you go open your menu looking for that Samaria, and you're like, where'd it go? It's not there. Another very important thing to this race too is like, we know where all the items are to get into GT, but there's still a GT big key that we have to get, and this is so close that like GT routing divergence can make a huge difference too.
Yeah. And I'm trying to actually think where Humbug, or what route Humbug likes to take. Area of course does prefer, the Blaine route, going over to Southwest Room first and then heading over to Compass Room. It certainly could still be some amount of variation. Humbug, let's say, like goes to like Hope Room first.
Yeah, and then maybe you just want to do something a little froggy. It's the finals. You're playing against Eri, and maybe want to do something a little different to see if it pays out. There's a lot of time save or time lost to be.
Oh yeah, there's really going to be time difference, and there is also still just amount of like the sheer execution right through the gauntlet. Humbug and Eri, it's not like the differential between their skills and execution is really like so small at this point, right? That you really can't give like an edge, right? To either runner, and little things can happen that just kind of like slows one runner down versus the other.
Oh, like maybe doing the entire dark roll without a sword?
Yeah.
It's just one of those nuances where execution doesn't help you out as much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I would say though, the two, especially blind fight, right, on hammer, from Eri's side on like 5 hearts was very, very impressive. But compared to Humbug's sword scripted fight, certainly was a little bit slower. Oh, nice zero cycle, on Eri's side.
Yeah, kudos to Eri for pulling that one off too. Like a death there, all of a sudden this race looks a little different too.
Man, just looking at the difference, right? That left side swamp, Humbug really.
Dude, it was.
No, of course not, right? Yeah. And I think it's very reasonable. It's just that we are watching this, right? This race, as Eri basically is going up to the mountain, and Humbug is heading into Meyer basement. Like the 2 minutes really could be quite different.
Yeah, if they would have just listened to us after we both watched the race,
exactly.
we could have told them a way, way, way better route. Like, I don't know why they don't just listen.
Exactly. I mean, we should just told Eri to like, don't worry about the dead rock. Ice Rock Cave is definitely worth your time, as opposed to like going back over to Kakariko.
Eri, we said don't die. Why didn't you listen to us?
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
You did die. Don't just go back and get the sword. You'll be happier. Okay? No. So yeah, what is this looking? It's probably looking around like 90 seconds, 2 minutes right now. I think that's my take.
Yeah, and Humbug is actually getting through basement. Actually probably a little bit faster than Eri, just because Eri had a little bit of trouble hitting the switch the second time around.
Used a little bit less resources, but
Yeah. Oh, also a good point. Yeah, Eri didn't restock or anything like that, so he has a green potion left. Somewhat, I don't know, just maybe something to keep in the back of our heads.
Yeah, that's true. Having cape makes that green potion maybe a little bit more valuable, but you can still take a squirrely death here and there. How did that silver hero hit that eyeball? He like shot from the side.
The side wall is getting a lot more activity than expected on Vitreous.
It's okay. Less inventory, less lag. Maybe that's
exactly.
Alright, well, let's Quartz crystal number 7 for humbugh, as Eri is entering GT. So really, just a mountain climb separating the two of them.
Yeah, pretty
A little bit
much.
of
You
fanfare.
know?
Where are we going,
alright.
Eri? We're going
Yeah,
left.
we're going left. Eri, I don't think has changed his GT routing like at all through this entire tournament. Remembering, of course, this time around that he does have the real
finals. It's different.
It's right. Okay. Like, do you think Eri? How good do you think Eri feels? Like, okay, cautiously optimistic, not so great. Like, you know, like based on his route.
So I'm gonna say that he feels terrible.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
If I'm gonna be honest, I think I don't know, like mental damage, sword in hand. He kind of knows that like he had a rough time in the overworld, and like you know, as a Reno runner, when you get hit by an enemy and it like makes you like have to like move backwards for like half a second, you're like, oh god, I'm 30 minutes behind. So
that's actually.
If only I had that sword, I wouldn't have been in this position.
Yeah, Eri enforced it quite well for himself, right? He didn't end up dying, to blind, right? Or or getting knocked down by moth. I mean, there are going to be like little things that maybe will, probably alleviate some of that mental pressure for him. But yeah, actually, there's a good reminder that Eri did have actually a pretty rough beginning. A good number of overworld deaths.
Yeah, so I have no idea, but like it doesn't matter how he feels. You should just listen to us and Eri.
Us from 10 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling great, man.
Oh look, there is a big key. So this actually potentially could be a little bit of time given to humbugh if he does right side first. There was a small key. Yeah, okay. There was a small key in Hope Room. So, and there wasn't really anything in Stalfos Room that would help either.
It's breaking my heart, but it's gonna be like, I don't know, almost exactly to the second of a difference of entering GT of doing left side swamp.
Oh no.
Like, almost to the second there, but whatever.
Oh my gosh. Alright, looks never mind. You know, humbugh is going left, so.
Okay.
This is probably at least not gonna be any more time given back. Gonna be relatively even. So right now that is just gonna be
Eri to give some execution time up now at that point. And it's really not something I would bet on, but crazy things have happened in Rando.
That is certainly true. We are kind of, watching, Eri, just kind of demolish the gauntlet. I will also like to point out that Eri in the Energy Weekly yesterday, he got came back to do the weekly after a couple weeks. 1:23:30x time finish, specifically a 6:45 GT split. Eri might feel a bit more confident with GT.
Okay, yeah, but you want to know something that is in Rando that's not in NMG? Quick swap. And we got a mirror, alright? And that would make a difference,
Excellent point, Ag.
I'm not wishing that upon anyone, but I just want everyone to keep their minds open. Because we're playing Open Plus, and that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, but yeah, Eri's been crushing this GT. Like, it looks hopeless.
Maybe not hopeless. We've got an inkling there. Of course, we still don't know what ended up happening. What will end up happening. On canon, it doesn't have to be kind for anybody. Even the best, rando champions, NMG champions still do fall to canon.
That's true. All right, here we go. We got a climb in our hands. Eri, you blink and you miss it. We're already past the gauntlet. We're already past the landmos. We are on the
see right here, right? This is something that not even world record holders can handle, right? You just get frame ruled by the game. That's it.
That's a good point. But yeah, he did get frame rolled there, but I am looking at their screens synced right now, and it didn't seem like that was quite enough to make the difference.
Maybe if Eri fell, on that bridge a couple more dozen times, humbugh would, have a little bit more closer of a gap. Though those mimics, though, maybe humbugh should have actually clipped them first because, the Beamos wouldn't be alive in the second room if he got the clips first.
Alright, there we are. And we will be getting the health refill, so... Suck it, red bottle, I don't need you. I got powder.
Yeah, that's true. It's like also Eri is going to kill Moldarm, and none of this, we're gonna hover over the gap.
No, you kill him and then you hover, because you like the hover, but you also like that guy dead because he sucks. No, that was a fantastic GT from Eri. 1.5 hearts here from humbugh. I don't know if he's got that red.
He should have a red potion. I don't think he's actually used any potions.
Did he refill it though? Because he would have had to actually turn it in. He may have. I don't actually recall if he did. You know what? I do actually. Now that I think about it, I remember him doing
exactly. It. Yes. I believe he got both Eri and humbugh got it from Pyramid Fairy when they did it.
Okay.
And then the green potion came from Waterfall Fairy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, silver arrows. Yeah, plenty of ammunition, for both Eri and humbugh. Silver arrows are not helping, Eri on Agatu though. But he should, be okay at least in Phase 4 Ganon, assuming he does not miss 17 times.
I do recall in this tournament, Eri, or this one, you know what? He's in so many tournaments these days; it's hard to remember. Phase 3 can be tough too sometimes, also. It was a one.
It was.
He kept getting interrupted by the fire bat at like the weirdest times ever, and I've never seen like such luck. But when Eri said like "LOL, my Ganon," I was like, okay, we'll see what this guy's talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Okay. One more Ganon fight stands between Eri and Game 1 victory in this best of 3 series. I guess we didn't ever find that 4th sword. My guess is maybe it's buried somewhere in GT. We have seen a lot more of the game, at least across both these runners. Not that we could keep it or anything like that, but I don't think we saw a Green 20 pop up anywhere.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to ask that question the whole time, but I was like, dude, people are gonna think I'm dumb if I don't know if you're allowed.
No one's ever gonna think you're dumb, Mag.
So I didn't ask it, so I don't feel dumb. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be tough to make up time on that Ganon, though. Basically as good as it gets there.
Yeah. Alright, I'm not sure if Eri was intending to get the torch glitch. He does only need 3 more arrows.
That would have, probably set him up for at least a double, if not a triple there.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, GG's. That's game 1 to Eri. Finally taking down humbugh.
Yeah, this especially was, that's right. In Eri's, clean slate, best of 3. Get your GGs out in chat for Eri, taking game 1 over humbugh, in the finals week. One more to go for Eri to completely clinch out the victory. Speaking of, hello Eri, GGs.
Yo, thank you.
So I guess maybe we could ask, hopefully not too many painful memories or they're not too fresh. Any thoughts when you picked up your Tempered Sword from Ice Rock Cave?
That was kind of my question too.
What was going to be real nice an hour ago?
Okay. But you were like, was your, the fact that you got tempered, did that happiness outweigh the fact that, you could have had that sword a while ago, or which one? Which emotion were you feeling the most?
It kind of solidified. I can't talk anymore. Solidified my decision to go into Ice Palace. So I guess in that sense, in hindsight, it was really nice.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that makes sense too.
Because otherwise, I was probably just gonna do the Zora checks, and then I would have to think about what I was gonna do. But with Temper, it was like, well, okay, let's just go for it.
Yeah, it was it was a really exciting one, because I think humbugh did a fake flipper early, so he had his mirror, which led him to putting off his hook shot a little bit later, and then he also knew about Kane, whereas you didn't, so would have been interesting to maybe see you if you would have went into Swamp or something, before you had Kane. That would have really tightened this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Regarding the Desert Ledge Scout, was that just something that you don't normally do? You didn't have any interest in doing, when you were running over basically to check out Agina.
Oh, sorry, I kind of zoned out there for I was reading chat. Is this about checking Desert Ledge?
Yeah, right. So when humbugh kind of went over to do Agina kind of early on, he dashed over to check out Desert Ledge, and that's when he found out about the cane there. I think like when you went there mid game, you just went straight to Agina. You didn't the Scout Desert Ledge.
Yeah, I'm usually. I used to be very thorough with checking like the overworld spots, like early lumberjack, early desert. But I feel like those are like such niche cases. I guess with Desert Ledge, it's only like 5-6 seconds to check it, to run back and forth. But I don't know. It's like either you get flute pretty early and then you check it anyway, or you get book and then you check it anyway. So I guess this is one of those rare points where knowing about it would have like saved me a little bit of time by not checking the Zora stuff. But I don't know. I'm usually not a huge fan of it.
It worked out pretty good for you, like all in all. I think like that was the one mirror check that you did in the game. Right? Yeah. I think you did any of the other ones, or because you had mirrors so late.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I really would have liked that mirror earlier, though. Like, not gonna lie.
No, it was definitely pretty like awkward for your routing. It was tough, and it was very hard to really determine who was ahead or not with him having it and then doing the things. But like I said, it got you to the hook shot a little bit quicker. But then
Yeah, and in that sense,
you
it
got
was
the routing
nice
efficiencies.
I wasn't gonna isolate like anything around Village of Outcast, which was nice, except for Sickit, which I got to really, really late because it was like literally the only thing left aside from Skullwits in there. But yeah,
And that was something he could do too because he had the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Humbugh, he did finish on screen, 125.06. Get your GG's out, for Humbugh, basically finishing off second place, quite the race. Humbugh, hello, GG's.
Thank you.
GG's.
Did you know? I've already asked Eri this question, but did you know that hookshot can be in hammer pegs?
We did find this out on this particular seed. I was even thinking back to the previous seed, the previous race that you and Eri raced, Humbug, where I believe in the Mimic Clip seed, that was actually where the bow was as well. So maybe a little bit of karma, evening things out for you guys.
It's a conspiracy. I see.
BRNG.
BRNG.
I was actually at the time of the race though, it was actually kind of around the time where also like Eri ended up getting his mirror from Hobo, which you had very early, right? Because you fake flippered. But also like it was actually just kind of like cool to see both of you kind of go back to some basically isolated checks that you ended up like not really having early on, to kind of like even things out like for both of you. Because but yeah, we were very worried when we saw Eri pull out hookshot from Hammer Pigs.
Yeah, and like had I gotten the flippers before hookshot, that would have gotten even worse because I probably would have done ice, and then do mire and all of that desert, all of it. Probably do swamp also before going back to hammer peg. So I'm just glad I went there from the south.
Turtle Rock.
Oh, that too. Sweet.
Well, I guess Turtle Rock would have been kind of a weird one now that I think about it, because you got your flute and.
Yeah, I would not have done Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that slot behind that would have been weird. But yeah, having the mirror early was really nice. Too bad it only led to the cane, but it was nice anyway.
Did either of you, I guess, feel? I guess like how did both of you feel kind of getting the bow out of Uncle? Kind of like not early.
Not particularly great.
Same.
I was weaponless for so long. Like I had the hammer, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. It felt really weird. I was like, well, if this leads to like something in Eastern or Pod, I'm just gonna be boned, I guess. That fire rod was kind of weird because I was kind of banking on needing fire rod after getting like so many medallions and stuff. I think I got bombos pretty early as well. So I was like, okay, well, with Skullwoods and Torok being pendants, like maybe we'll just get a fire rodless seed.
I was hoping.
But yeah, I already didn't feel great after like super awkward early game where I just ran into every enemy possible and had to do Swordless Thieves Town and stuff. And I was like, well, I really don't want to do this, but I'm probably never going to come back to this area. And I don't want to just like dash all the way over to Village of Outcasts again. So I guess I might as well try. Like, almost died to blind like 3 different times.
I don't know. I mean, you seemingly like went in there, full confidence, 5 heart, green mail, only hammer Thieves Town and no potions. Like I guess you had the cape, but like no sword to really use it. Even though you did get some good use out on that fight, but like, I big cojones, Sammy. That's all I gotta say. That was a big
have
play,
to
man.
against Humbug. Like he destroyed me 2 times, so I had to like kind of just like execution wise make a few coin flip plays. I felt like I was really unsure about a couple of things, but I just had to like just assume I was going to play well enough. Yeah, there's a couple of things execution wise that we don't talk about, like something like with the Mario Dark Rooms. Aga 2 was...
How can we talk about it? We didn't see anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I hope that the sound wasn't on me, so you didn't hear like a.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
Any particular thoughts for game 2? I'm not sure if I saw anything on schedule, and maybe that's just something still TBD.
Yeah, it's still TBD.
It's TBD, yeah.
Okay.
All right. What about like
It's
do
gonna
it
be
right
the
now?
weekend.
How does that sound? Just run it back.
Uh,
I didn't hear a no. No, I'm kidding. Okay, you guys do whatever you want. No peer pressure from me, please.
Yeah, like we were discussing doing game 2 and a potential game 3 during the weekend.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So
Man, looking at your credit stat here, first sword 9 minutes is pretty good, humbugh.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, great job, Humbug.
Thank you.
Mirror at 10 minutes. That seems so unfair. What's going on here?
It really does. Yes.
They should have like first hook shot, right? That would actually be a pretty good, pretty good metric.
First hook shot?
Or whatever, like the hook shot time, right? Just like boots time, like whenever you go pick it up.
It's Ocarina of Time, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, if you have someone who's stats the second hook shot, then you can also be like, wait, what did they do?
This was super fun. Very, very tense, by the way, especially early game for you watching, Eri. Yeah, it's swordless, 5 hearts, hammer, blinds. Yep. Great job, by the way, survived.
Yeah. I think you did make Clear Mouse faint like almost 10 times.
It was a bit tense.
My job's done then.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts though before we kind of wrap things up?
No, again, thank you so much for the race, Humbug. Yeah, we've faced each other a lot of times now. It's really fun racing you because these races are super close and exciting.
It's really cool. I enjoy it a lot. It's Eri is fast. It's hard to beat him. So it's fun. These races are fun because they are so tough. But yeah, GG again, and thanks for the restream and commentary from Clear Mouse and Ak.
Yeah, it's an honor, privilege. Imagine getting Ak back into commentary just for us.
I know, yeah.
Doesn't happen that often anymore.
Specifically, just for you, yes. No, man, this is an amazing. Yeah, you guys are so dang good at this game. It's a pleasure to watch. Like anytime, man, anytime.
Yeah, I mean, this is I could not think of anyone better than Ak in order to commentate the finals for. So, very glad that Ak was available for this and agreed to do commentary.
Ak during daily hours.
Well, it is embarrassing to say that I have trouble waking up at 1 p.m. to do this, but life's life. But no, like again, the pleasure is all mine. Like it's so much fun to watch, and I don't know. I don't even think nothing of it. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dunka, man, for setting all this up. He's got bots and
Hell yeah.
lazy kids and auto or robot trackers and all that crazy stuff, man.
Multiple lazy kids? Oh no,
Yeah,
it's multiplying.
He's not a bad guy.
Monka kick, huh?
Yeah, that is, yeah, Dunka has set up so much stuff on the back end, and it's just actually very, like, it's very, like, hard to kind of, like, get the full value just by viewing, but I think, it's like, when there's, like, no, fires, news, like, everything runs smoothly, right? You just kind of assume, like, oh, okay, it's not too big a deal. There was a massive amount of effort and success, basically, by making things run so smoothly, right? Dunka cannot thank you enough, basically, for setting up everything for us and just making things super easy for us. Copy the trackers, like, everything was super accurate, no mistakes whatsoever, and always up to date, right? So thank you so much. And of course, he's the one who organized all the stuff too, right? Like, the prizes, like the formats, the tournament stuff, everything, right? Dunka does so much.
We don't deserve him.
Probably true, actually.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah. I think, okay, with that, I think we are gonna look forward, I guess, to games 2 and 3. Or if game 3 comes to fruition, I think for probably Humbugh's sake and at least for the viewers' sake, we do all want a game 3. But of course, Eri, best of luck in the following 1/2 games for you.
Yeah,
So,
at least it wouldn't feel so bad if I actually make it like 2-2 and then win the tourney. Like if it's gonna be like a 2-1, then in the end I'm just gonna be like 2-3 against Humbug, so that would feel really weird.
If it's going to be a 2-2, I'm still going to consider it somewhat of a win because I beat you 2 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I think that gives you right to like maybe harass Dunka a little bit for like a consolation prize or something too. I would do it.
Yeah.
So
Good idea.
yeah.
Good
Be
idea.
like, wait a minute, I figured out a statistic loophole to lobby in my favor. It's like GG's, I guess. Yeah, I got nothing else. Excited to see you guys this weekend.
Yeah, and I'm sure like whatever you guys end up scheduling, Dunka also takes care of a lot of the like Discord logistics and stuff, and I'm sure he'll have events posted on Discord, whenever that happens. So yeah, thank you guys so much again. It was definitely a lot of fun. And Ak, thank you so much. It was a ton of fun as always. Always like being in the booth with you. Mm-hmm. All right, I think until then, yeah, have a great rest of the day. And then and keep an eye on Discord for whenever games 2 and 3 will be. Till then, have a good rest of the day.
Later.
See you, nerds.